Alright guys, Steve here, and in this video I want to go through and show you an overview and a demo of GetResponse, one of the most popular email autoresponder, email software programs that you can use. And I use it for internet marketing, online marketing stuff, but you can use GetResponse for any type of business. And I've used many different email software programs, and I rate GetResponse up there probably at the top for the features, what you pay for it, the features, and just the flow of everything and what you can do with it. So I'm going to give you a quick demo, give you a quick overview of GetResponse, and then I'm going to, down in the description on the video here, there's a link where you can sign up and you can try it and see if you like it as well, see if you like it as much as I do. So having said that, let's jump right in. Let me show you how GetResponse works and give you a quick overview. So from the home page here, I'm going to log into my account. Oops. Okay, so I'm logging in here to my account. Alright, so I am here on the dashboard. I may blur out certain things so I don't give away all my stuff. But I've been using GetResponse for a long time, actually so long that I'm grandfathered into like a legacy plan, I believe. But for me, I use different email services. For the list that I have on here, as you can see, I've got multiple lists. I've got right now I've got about 6,000 people. I use GetResponse a lot for testing, and I've got a couple of bigger lists, main lists that I use it for. But GetResponse has worked for me. So once you log in, you're going to see the dashboard. It's going to, over here, it's going to show you your lists. There's like some quick action, some quick links here for some of the more common stuff. It's going to give you your last stats on the last newsletter that you sent. And then up here is where you kind of get to everything. I want to show you a couple things. I want to show you lists, and I want to show you how to set up autoresponders. So if I click on lists, so here are all the lists that I've created, and you can sort them different ways. You can sort them by date. You can sort them by number of contacts. And then you could also search, you want to name stuff and organize it, what makes sense to you. So these are all my lists, and what a list is a list is basically a container that's going to have contacts in it. So when I click on one of these, for example, it's going to show you the people that have signed up and when they signed up. So if I click on one of these, I'll just pick a random one here. It's going to show you their contact information. It's going to show you, if you have an autoresponder set up, it's going to show you what day they're on, and then it's going to show you what day they subscribed, and it's going to give you more information about where it came from. And then if I click on one of the contacts, it gives you more details on where it came from and the type of contact it is. So one thing I like about GetResponse here real quick is it gives you this engagement score. So kind of over time, when you have somebody running through your list, you can quickly see, you can sort this as well. You can quickly see, if people are opening your emails and clicking on your emails, and over time, if you've got people that are just down here and they're not doing much, that might be something to consider. If everybody's like that, you got a problem. But if you've got certain people like that, it may be a good way to help you clean your list. So that's something to keep in mind. And then you've got different tools up here. You can, search. You can set up segments. So you could basically, within your list, you can tag, you can tag over here, but you can set up in different categories, if you want to segment your lists. And there's different tools for managing your lists. So that's how lists work on GetResponse. And the next thing I want to show you is I want to show you how to set up an autoresponder. So an autoresponder is an automatic reply. So if somebody signs up to your list, this is the best example of an autoresponder. Somebody signs up to your list. Right after they sign up to your list, you want to automatically send them like a welcome email. So what I could do is I could create an autoresponder and send out that welcome email just automatically. So to create an autoresponder, I'm going to click on this button here. And I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it Test Welcome. And then what you want to do is you want to set this up for 0. So it sends right after they sign up. So that's what 0 means. And you can see here it says send immediately. And then you can select what list you want them to be on. And then here's where I select, either I create or I select an existing message that I have. So I'm going to set up a new one. I'm going to call this test message welcome. And we're going to call it hi welcome tests. Now you've got a few different options when you set up your email. You can use a template, which is an HTML-based form of email. And back in the day, you used to have to really make sure that you sent either all text emails or you sent one, that was HTML-based, one that was text-based, because depending on, what type of client the person used for getting their emails, whether it was web-based or like a local client like Outlook or something like that, there's a good chance that your email would look different and or be just messed up. So you would always want to send a text version to make sure whoever got it, no matter what they were using, they could read it. These days, here in 2020, when this video is created, you don't really have to worry about that as much. I still would recommend, even if you choose to use an HTML template and you only do HTML and no text, or no, just basic text, I would use a template that's more on the basic end. Just, there's going to be less problems with displaying it. The fancier you create, these aren't web pages and they shouldn't be treated as such. This is just a simple, communication that people get in their email. So you want to keep it as nice and clean as possible. Now, GetResponse has some nice templates you can use, and to my point that I just made, I think some of these kind of cross into probably being a little bit too crazy for an email. But, if you have a big brand, if you have an e-commerce store or you're a local business, you may want to use one of these nice, I would call pretty templates. You can have your logo and you could have a button, call to action, on everything that you send out. And they have different categories depending on what type of business you have. Now those are HTML options. The next options are either plain text, or you could make it HTML based, but you could have it be text and be able to add your own links. So for internet marketing, for the stuff that I do, I always do this option here. And I'll show you what I mean. I send it as HTML, but even though it's HTML, it's text. So even if the person receiving it has problems with HTML, they're going to be able to see the email and they're going to be able to use it. So I'm going to select HTML code editor here. And that opens up this screen here. Now, don't panic. By default, it does want you to write HTML code by hand. But there's this nice little option down here where you can click on WYSIWYG, which means what you see is what you get. And if you've used anything like Word, like an editor, it works exactly the same. So what we can do is, let's say we're going to type out a welcome email to people that just subscribe to our list. So I'm going to say, hi, thanks for subscribing to my list. Here is the free report that you signed up for. And I can actually attach it here, or I could link off to what I would recommend doing is when they subscribe, I would kick them to and I'm not going to get into this in this video, maybe in another video, but after they subscribe, you kick them to a thanks page, like a thank you page. And at the same time, you're going to email them this welcome message. So they're going to see the thank you page after they subscribe immediately. And then on the nice reason for using a thank you page is you can deliver your free report or whatever you're offering, and that's a great place. That's a great chance to upsell them like immediately. So if you're paying for your traffic, a lot of times you can recoup your cost with people buying just some small product or service. So again, that's beyond this video, but that's how I would set it up. So what I could do is say, here's the free report that you signed up for. Maybe do like a arrow, click here to download now. And then what I would do is I would select this and then go up to this little link. And here is where I could link right here. So I'd put my link in there. Doesn't matter. I'm just going to do it like that. And then I would finish out my email. Watch for more tips and tricks coming soon. This is the first message you have to the person that has subscribed, so you're starting to build a relationship. So this can be whatever you want it to be. And then you're going to have your signature, whatever you want it to be. Okay? And then I would click on next step. And oh, by the way, you could test it down here if you wanted to. And then again, this is going out on day 0. This is a welcome message. This is the list that it's tied to. And then when I clicked on save and publish, it's going to make it available on the autoresponders. And everybody that signs up is going to get to this list is going to get that welcome message that we just set up. So that's how that works. Now the next thing I wanted to show you is newsletters. So if I click on email marketing, newsletters work exactly the same. Setting them up is very, very similar to what I just showed you with an autoresponder. The difference between an autoresponder and a newsletter is a one-time event. An autoresponder you can set up so when everybody signs up, on your list, I could set day 0, I could set day 3, 4, 5, 6 on a calendar, and it's going to automatically, on those days, it's going to automatically send to those people in the order that I set up. So that's how autoresponders work. If I wanted to just send out like a one-time promotion, I would create a newsletter, and it works exactly the same. Click on create newsletter, and again, I have options to select a template, or I can use the HTML source editor like I just showed you. So that's how that works. GetResponse also has a pretty cool feature for landing pages. I'll show you that real quick. Now, if you don't have a website, you don't have a way to build, opt-in pages, GetResponse has an excellent landing page builder. So you get down here, you click on create a page. And just like on, when you're building emails, there are different templates available for you to use. And I would recommend, for the landing page part of it, I would recommend using one of the templates. So there's general categories, depending on what you're trying to do, what your objective is, for just, general signups, general opt-ins, registration. If you're promoting a webinar, if you have a video, there's holiday messages, there's all kinds of different templates you can use. So I'm not going to go through and show you this in detail, but basically you would click on this and then select it, and you can edit it from there and set it up. So, and then you can tie it to your opt-in. So you have a nice landing page for people, to come to and sign up for your list. So that's one cool thing about GetResponse. You could actually use it for both landing pages and, for building lists. So you've got an all-in-one solution here. And it's reasonable. The cost of it is very reasonable compared to other solutions like Lead Pages or ClickFunnels or some of the other page builders. So that is landing pages. And then there's a few other things that I'm really not going to get into. You can use it to promote webinars, which I really haven't done much with. There's some automation features where you can have, like, if you ever heard of marketing automation, you can have funnels that kind of run and do different things and have logic to them. And you can really do some advanced funnel setups with the automation features here in GetResponse. So if you're into that, you can definitely do that with GetResponse. And down here we've got integrations and APIs, so you can connect it to all kinds of different websites and services, to social media, and have basically, if you use other page builders, for example, you could set up an API connection to where, say on ClickFunnels, you could set up your opt-in form to automatically connect. So when they sign up, it would pull it right into your list here and GetResponse. So that's what that is. And actually, there's something brand new here that I have not seen. It looks like you can probably set up and manage Facebook ads in GetResponse. I'm not sure if that's something I would recommend or do it that way, but that is there for you. And forms and surveys is another cool thing. Let's click on that. So actually the way it works is, if you have your own landing page and you set up an opt-in form, they would all be displayed here. So technically what you could do is you can set up different opt-in forms that all flow into the same list, for example. And like for split testing, let's say you have one page and you run some traffic to it and you get just horrible conversion rates. Well, guess what? You could create a new variation or a new version of that and use another web form, for example. But that's really what it is. I'll just give you an example here of kind of what it is. So this is an older product that I set up, and I had affiliates that signed up to promote it. So here's my web form. It's very simple. Email address, name. They opt in, and then it was for affiliates, kind of a launch, and kind of give them updates about the launch. So that's what the web form looks like. There's an editor, and you can make the web form do whatever you want. So that's really it. I think I've shown you everything with GetResponse that I wanted to show you. It's an excellent email marketing software. Again, it's one of the better ones, one of the most intuitive ones to use. So make sure you check out the link, and there should be an option to sign up and give it a trial, give it a go. See if you like it. If not, you're not really out anything other than a few bucks. Make sure you sign up for my channel if you want to get more tips and tricks on internet marketing and making money online. And I hope you found this video useful, and we'll see you next time.